YouTube. Ah, look at that. As soon as I started recording, I was going to record my tablet that shows like my time and GPS and all that. And I was going to show how it was glitching. Like, but as soon as I press record, it started acting normal, which is a lot of things do that. Like whether this phone and I'm trying to record it on another phone or some other device, it was acting funky, and then I recorded. That is not the video. That is not the video. Even though it kind of is the video. We are vessels. And for another word, devices. For what is the question for a lot of people? Excuse me. Inside burn. But that being said, a lot of people are glitching. You know, NPCs, open vessels for Agent Smiths, Satans, demons, whatever, Archons, you name it. But that is not the message in its entirety. The message is, I like to say people are mentally challenged, and some are, but mentally challenged doesn't describe the reasons why people do what they do. Because if you're unintelligent, you can become intelligent. Like, being unintelligent isn't a thing. Being retarded is, like, I've seen retarded people hold down jobs, and you know what I mean? Like, missing a few, you know what I mean? Missing a few things. But they're still active. They're better than a lot of people. Like, retarded people have better morals and standings than a lot of people, which shows you a lot about the ideals of a narcissist. It's like, I gotta be smart because I get over on people, and I don't hold moral and upstanding behavior as normal, which is also fairly retarded, because to foolishly think you're at the top of the food chain when you pay 30% of your taxes to people you've never known or seen, it's quite obscene. And I'm not talking shit from my own standpoint, but as well as a president that has tried to awaken people to their own idiocy. But that's on a nerd level. You'd have to willingly not want to be asleep. That's, you know what I mean? That's above average. Average people will bow down to anybody. Kings have known this. Presidents, countries, governments, the Bible has known this for a long period of time. And I mean the Bible in a good way. The Bible calls out wickedness, rulers of governments. That's why they changed the Bible. King James changed the Bible and banned the Geneva Bible. Like, because it calls out people that are wicked and connect with demons and wicked people, which is also documented. Oh, speaking of which, I got a truck that sped up just to slow down in front of me. Anyway, I'm gonna slow down and give these weird ass motherfuckers the space that they wanted. Back to the point. While I'm making this video, I'm gonna slow down. Super slow, so I can get these weird spirited motherfuckers away from me. But speaking on that subject, they're not mentally challenged because they know, they're aware better, of smarter, of capabilities that can change their lives, other lives, and everything around them, and the consequences of doing or not doing it. So instead of calling them, and words are very important in your life, instead of calling them mentally challenged or retarded, you can call them spiritually challenged. And spiritually challenged does hit it, because their spirit, their consciousness is seared. They can't lean onto better ideas. They refuse to, or can't. It's probably already too late. They can't lean onto better ideas. There you go. That's why my GPS was still messing up, and it got me on some long ass route of now busting a U-turn. It was aiming to get me on that for a long time. My phone has a similar trucking GPS, and that malfunctioned, even though I paid for it. pretty penny for it too. And here's another key to it. This is how all spiritual attack, and the devil likes to attack you by death by 1,000 cuts. There's a really expensive GPS that I have that's for truckers specifically, and never in all of history has this ever happened, but there was a mount that I had on the windshield close to the driver window. It dismounts forcefully and flings down and hits the turn signal stick next to my wheel and shatters the screen. And I've been reluctant to buy a new one because that shit was expensive. But the way it seems, I may just have to, because anything that's... Here's the thing about being gang stalked and being a targeted individual. I don't know the workings of it. I know there's weird ass people, just like there's people on Reddit that group together to do really heinous and weird ass things. Large groups of people, just like there's large groups of people in chat rooms that like congregate together, like a bunch of white people in Germany, to figure out how to rape their own mothers, sisters, and wives. And, you know what I mean? And they actually do these things. This also happens in many different areas, but especially on Reddit. But I'm not calling out them only, or 4chan. Like, I've known white boys, and they've kind of given me hints to like large groups of weird white people. Like, I'm not calling out only white people. There's large groups of weird, lots of other people too. But white people are notorious of doing things in the shadows. History shows that. Doing a lot of wickedness in the shadows just so they can't get called out, stopped, or looked at weird. Like, there's a dude on YouTube that he's talking about his homeboys, and this is also still on spiritual retardation. Like it's like, me and my boys, this is what they call friends. We used to play this game called Ookie Cookie, and this is a white bitch that's looking at him, and her face is getting more disgusted as time goes by as he's explaining it. And he's like, oh yeah, we used to sit around a cookie and we jack off, and whoever was the last person to ejaculate would eat it. And the bitch is like, and then like he realized that his sick, weird humor and spirit was only accepted amongst the demonically possessed and profane people like him. And it dawned on him only when the female was showing her open disgust on his basic, blatant homosexuality. And there's large groups of that. These people still get down like it's normal. There's like, it's the things that are done in the shadow. That's why Holly Weird gets away with a lot, because a lot of these motherfuckers are weird in large groups. Like, P. Diddy's taking a downfall, so white people don't get exposed. That are in them. Like, the other Epsteins that are not caught don't get caught up. So P. Diddy has to take the fall. And boy, have they been doing some weird shit. But, and not to only hurt on white people, I beat on everybody. Everybody can get it. But truth is truth. And everybody will get it, indiscriminately. But there's just such large groups of weird shit going on. And that's why I said spiritually retarded, spiritually challenged, because it's offensive to retarded people. Retarded people are actually capable of functioning. People that are spiritually lost, their consciousness seared, they're basically choosing to be spiritually and mentally retarded. It's offensive to call them retarded. And I've seen it in real life, like, not only on video, I've seen it in real life. That's why I choose. Like, there's even niggas that, you know, like, not only black women choose this retardation to glorify people that used to eat us. and they have sex with their own family members. But niggas do the same thing too, in their own weird ass fashion. And I can go on many details. Glorifying money over their God, that's one. That's first and foremost. If you keep that in check, everything else falls into place. The backstabbery, that's a white thing that is now pervasive in a lot of cultures, and that wasn't there before. Even though, black backstabbery, see in the Bible, a lot of them people in the Bible are black or a version of it, of dark melanation. I mean, backstabbing was prevalent back then, but we're talking about in most recent times where people are improving, so-called improving. In the past 200 years, most black people, Bible thumping, fearing, God-fearing, standard having, or at least pretending and trying to keep up to it, which leads to a better ecosystem. Now, we have it just because black people are the front face of everything that's influential. Just like hip-hop, which is now the most popular worldwide, listened to music all over the world, the most popular, most effective, and that's why it has to be controlled by the people that are controlling everybody, and it was controlled that way since like 1980, basically when I was born, 1980s. It's been taken over, just like pretty much everything else. Everything else, which is even of more importance. But a lot of these things tie in together. But the leading factor of all destructions on all levels, whether of their quote-unquote apparent intelligence or awareness, are people that are spiritually retarded or spiritually deficient. And I'm not using this subject event, even though dealing with them on a day-to-day basis, which is daily for me, especially out here on the road, it's quite an often feat. Maybe I'll talk about it, maybe I won't. They're not actually probably. There's a weird situation that kind of sparked me for today. You know what? I'm gonna slip it in. It's only a short. I went to Walmart to grab supplies, food supplies, and random stuff that I have to do for paperwork and other shit that I gotta get done that I really can't speak on until it's done. And actually, I can't speak on it at all because it's just what it is. But I was, in a heavily, this is in Tennessee, I was in Tennessee, in a heavily melanated deficient area. You'll have weird acting people. These people weren't as weird acting, but you know who I noticed was the first to be weird acting? Quote unquote black women that were really ghetto and tried to be offensive, but I didn't notice them. Like, black melanated brothers were cool with me from top to bottom since I've been here. But the black woman was more offensive and sought to be on purpose more offensive than people that, you can tell when white people don't like you just off your skin. They were seeking to be more offensive than even them. And they often are, even in their own community, surrounded by other black people. Because most people in most communities are cowards. So nobody wants to check out this unruly beast. Or put in check this unruly beast. And it's not by race, it's by type. But this, I'm walking in the aisle, and I'm walking in the fruit aisle, and I'm getting my fruit, and they rush in front of me, and they stop. And they're looking real tacky. They try to laugh and notice, and I'm just walking around, cute white bitches smiling and giving me attention, whatnot. Nod, give her attention back. I wouldn't even notice them. I think they were trying to get my attention with being offensive and whatnot. And then they stop and they both look back and they're trying to get my attention, looking at me like I should give a shit. And I don't give a shit at all. I never did. But I don't, the only reason I give a shit is trying to decipher if it's demon possession or it's some kind of weird narcissism that is pervasive in our community that's allowed to go rampant in black women. Which, then again, narcissism is a form of demon possession that has gone rampant in not only our community but all communities. But I stopped giving a shit though, because I just identify this along with spiritual deficiency, spiritual deficiency, just as what it is in one word. It's weakness. Because as soon as I didn't pay any attention and interacted with other people as I casually go through the building, picking my shit, they broke ground and dipped out. As usual, most weak people do, and weak things do, and weak situations. I didn't want to go on a tangent because there's a lot of upside that equates to how I focus my energy and I change my reality. But it still points to how to not be spiritually deficient. And it's by focusing your energy on positive things, seeking truth, seeking God, which is truth, seeking wisdom, seeking love, seeking all these great things. But it was 16:16 on the clock, and I've done enough bars for the moment. I'm gonna get back to it, because at this moment I'm dealing with truckers that are acting funky and weird and slamming on their brakes. And anytime I speak on subjects like this, for some random reason, coincidentally, a lot of people start driving erratically. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a break. Here we go. And the traffic will increase the longer this video goes on, or the longer I ever dwell on a positive thought. And I want a smooth ride. So anyway, like and subscribe, or don't. God knows your value, but do you? You know the rest.